Ladies and gentlemen, we are live as Donald Trump prepares to make a special announcement. Make sure my stream's working okay. Is it freezing? Okay, I think it's... Okay. Stream, everything's good. Trump has given an announcement in 4 minutes. What's up, Varun? This announcement, by the way, is going to be a historic reset of Biden fuel rules. That is what this is supposed to be. Let's go. You have no emission. Am I cooked? I don't hate no emission. There's a couple words in here like he's gonna say EV, obviously. Gonna say gasoline most likely. I mean, does he always? I just assumed. Yeah, he's gonna say gas 100%. My only play right now that completely moved against me was manufacturing. I was getting filled at this at like 32, 33, and now it's just all the way up to 50. So great clothesline value if I could have gotten some actual fills, but yes, I just got completely. Somebody is on the same strike I am here. So I'm honestly going into this with like no real size, unfortunately. There's a few other strikes I'm definitely looking at. He doesn't say emission. Yeah, he almost never says emission, but I mean, this is so directly related to it that, and he could talk about the whole thing with Gavin Newsom in California and whatnot. Like, do I think no is probably a good play? Yes, but how did you get Trillion for 60? Am I just coming to these things too late? Like, Trillion should never be below 80. I don't really understand how that could be. Like, the amount of times he says Trillion is just unbelievable. So, that's a little surprising to me. But, just so you guys know, like, format of this should be similar to what we saw yesterday when he announced the Trump accounts. You got no emission at 23? Man. Yeah, I had a big miss not getting on this early. I need to get on these mentions early because they're going to be so mispriced in the beginning. I don't know why I missed it. I got to be more on top of that because I keep coming to them late when the prices are already pretty... Oh, you're on no on AutoPen. I don't know. I don't have a position on that one, but that is definitely playing with fire. He recently tweeted last night about reversing all of Biden's AutoPen signatures. But, anything can happen. Oh, 3 contracts. Okay, yeah, that's a little different, I guess. Yeah, I guess I'm kind of fucked. I'm getting any liquidity for manufacturing. Well, let's see what else. Is there anything else I could like somewhat like here? I think I'm gonna probably try to live trade this a little bit. They have multiple speakers, so my goal is that Trump will speak in the beginning. Probably some of these that are extremely likely will not get said, and then I can buy them cheap if I put up limit orders, and then he'll hit them in the Q&A. So that's the goal. I got to sell you gold and silver. Do you want gold and silver? Is that in relation to the Trump cards? Yeah, good call out on the weekly. I got to make sure I'm watching that during this. There are going to be a lot of strikes that'll have pretty good opportunity to come up. By the way, for anyone that's... Oh, you're watching the RSBN stream? But for anyone that's like big into mentions, just realize too, there is the Snowflake earnings call later today. So make sure you get back on that. Yeah, I should try to sell snake oil. It would be cool if I could overtake RSBN. Everybody goes to RSBN before these things. I guess kind of stealing RSBN's thunder a little bit. But what value does RSBN actually give you? I'm telling you before it happens what they're going to say. You could argue I'm an expert on what they're going to say. Wow, that is kind of funny to think about. Like the whole, because there's that CNN announcement I think you guys saw. Kalshi's doing a partnership with CNN, which I think is so freaking cool. And I mean, it's only been a matter of time that something like that was going to happen. I just imagine like election night coverage using something like that, Like imagine they're looking at the election odds rather than like some random NYT needle or whatever. It's like, but then that'll hurt their viewership because then all the elections will be called in like 30 minutes. So... But imagine they have Anderson Cooper. Yeah, gasoline. The odds are almost always based heavily off the NYT needle. Yeah, probably. But I guess... Do you really think so, Tonka? Like, if it's a very deep liquidity political market, don't you think people like Yabvek and like these big political sharks... Okay, good. Because I can't believe I actually took it... I was just taking it somewhat seriously because it is true that like people will look at like those data points, but obviously... Okay. How does Kalshi decide which words? Ryan, if you go in the Discord, there's a mention market Discord on the Kalshi Discord. By the way, if you guys aren't in the Kalshi Discord, honestly, I really recommend it. It's just like a really fun place. And the mention market channel is like the best channel because it's just all mentions degenerates. But you can propose words, like if you think there's a good one to be added, and they'll add it. Jake is the guy who talks in there from the Kalshi team. And he's super open to like people recommending stuff. He's been a legend, honestly. I want to write a big post about him because I think he needs a shout out. Dang, you would get actual updates from needle movements on Predicted. Yeah, it's crazy to me, Tonka, like thinking about guys like Domer that were like doing this full time on Predicted back in the day. Like I just can't imagine making good income being limited by $850 and how hard that must have been. I guess you must have had to really look at long shots because that's kind of the only way. It's also crazy that, like, you know what I mean? Like, I bet you bonding is completely worthless, obviously, on, like, those platforms. That's probably why things will stay at, like, 95, 96. Yeah. That's so bizarre they had to structure it like that. Do you ever still use Predicted? I know, like, they have, like, all sorts of fees that can kind of be a little crazy. Oh, okay, so you could do the same. Yeah, that makes sense. Did you trade the special election at all last night, Tonka? Ben actually was spot on. I should have followed what he was saying. Ben, if you guys didn't see, decent six figs even with the cap. Damn. You're telling me, Winston, I already got it up. I had the weekly up. Let me pull it back up. Andrew asked, shouldn't this center around manufacturing? Yes, you are right. I just think that people are overpricing that. You know what I mean? Like, granted, this has moved to 50 cents, so I'm not going to buy no at 50 cents, guys, just so you know. I was buying no in the 30s. I'm not going to buy no at 50, but the market completely moved against me before I even started streaming. So I have no at 32 cents. So I just think it was people were overvaluing it. You think this will be a yes fest? You're probably right. That's cool. I bet you, Tonka, they did that intentionally. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't even include a Biden strike here. I mean, it's probably because it was like such a bond. Look, if you took manufacturing yes 30 minutes ago, maybe you got it at a good price. Yeah, that is cool, Tonka, because people probably actually can share alpha because they don't, worry about, they already are maxed out. Climate change will hit when he starts rambling about the Democrats. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, you still get that sometimes now. Like, Gaten will run out of cash and, talk about some of his plays. Sleepy Joe strike. Well, look, I think he's going to say Biden 100,000 times here. So, yeah, honestly, I'll buy Sleepy Joe, yes. Assuming I can get in at like a... What is my thesis for no manufacturing? Trump very, very rarely says manufacturing, even if it relates to manufacturing. Yes, this relates to the EV mandate, so he's going to talk about car manufacturing and stuff like that. But I just don't think it was fair to be priced close to 70 cents when I got in. Now it's 50-50, so I wouldn't buy no's here, but when it was in the 30s, I tried to buy 1,000, but you can tell market moved against me a ton. Okay. Sleepy Joe has gone from 33 to 45. Okay. Looks like I'm gonna be coming up looks like I'm gonna be coming up empty here on filling any positions. Wow. Hottest in the 50s and low 60s though. I don't know about this one. Yes on battery? Probably. You think hottest is a coin flip, Dzift? It it feels, yeah, I agree with Nico. It does feel cheap. The only thing is like the format of this will be a little, you know. Look, I couldn't get many plays in early, so I just got priced out of a ton of stuff. Um, so it looks like I probably won't get like virtually any fills now. But so I guess I'm gonna have to resort to mostly live trading this. So I'm going to wait at the open. He'll say his prepared remarks. Then they'll ramble on about other stuff because he has. Remember, guys, there's multiple speakers here. I think there's like 4 General Motors or something coming and speaking. So it'll be similar to yesterday, where there's multiple different speakers, and then it's very likely going to be a Q&A at the end. So if people dump after he doesn't hit things in the open, then all these other speakers start talking. That's kind of what always happens on mentions. Is people start just dumping their shares because they freak out and they're like, "Oh, Trump just spoke. Is it over?" And then you can fill things really cheap. Like yesterday, if that was your strategy, you would have printed on that mention because he went and hit like 5 strikes in the Q&A, even though it was like a 10-minute Q&A. I need to just start being a taker in some of these because, like, otherwise. I saw Winston. He was talking. I think he's here. Winston, Gogo is asking for your insight. Let's see what people are saying in Discord. All right, what are you taking, Winston? Electricity and gasoline cheap? What did you get them at? After I hit the challenge, am I going to keep going? Yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm undoubtedly going to keep going. I'm going to hit. I'm going to keep going. Maybe I'll pause when I hit 1,000,000. But we're definitely not stopping at 100K. I did some of the Dealbook summits. I mean, I made like $50, but I don't know. Liquidity was kind of poor on them. How do you get stuff for cheap? Is there a strat or is it all just timing? Um, oh, Greek's in here. The mention market god. What did he say he's on? Inflation, yes. EV electric, yes. What did you get EV electric yes at, Greek? limit orders, but this morning at 6 a.m. Yeah, starting early is big. Whenever they drop these mentions, that's when stuff is like super mispriced. Every market is rebalancing. I wonder how delayed this is going to be. Elon and Tesla as strikes. Wow. Phantom says, I'm the type of guy to bet on Trump to say Drake at 95. You already know what this is in reference to. This is in reference to my great guys. If I ever give you a Spotify play, don't take it. But hey, Phantom, we have clawed back since we lost 5K on that. We have clawed back 4K already on mentions. We are 1K away from being back even on the week. And we're going to hit it on this Trump mention if I could get any size on anything. I don't mess with markets where whales can mess the average. You're on emissions, yes? Winston? Dang. Morgan Wallen's Spotify top album was dumb. Wait, that was just US though, right? Go. Because I know Bad Bunny still won for top global. Man, dude, manufacturing has doubled in price. What the hell? I can't. It's getting. I don't know. I'm gonna have to stop. I'm gonna have to be careful streaming any order books. Man, yeah, this is getting late. Is anything moving? What are people saying in the Discord? Okay. Loxy's in on Sleepy Joe, guys. Everybody sell your shares right now. If you're on yes, get out of it. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. That was a Loxy fade joke. Loxy has actually turned into a huge sharp. Webb asks, any value in the fake news mention? Holy shit. This has moved so far down. There actually might be value now. Why is fake news down to the 30s? Huh. I don't know. I wouldn't buy it. I don't think there's value. But the thing with fake news is that it's normally going to come up during big Q&A, right? Because he usually says it when responding to like reporters. So I just don't know if in this format he's going to get the same like attack questions that are going to prompt it. So I should have slammed this no in the 40s. I'm just a bad trader, so I missed it. I feel like Hottest is calling my name though. Damn. Greek, when I started this stream, manufacturing no was in the 30s. It's now 58 of like, so that's why I'm saying to be everyone to use limit orders, like I said, very important. But I don't really have like any positions right now. Like I said, I have this tiny position there. Okay, Nico, I don't necessarily love fake news, but I definitely don't hate AutoPen. Wait, Dzift, are you against me on manufacturing? Honestly, at these prices, I would probably flip to yes. You know, like that's what you guys gotta be price sensitive. Just remember that. Honestly, Creek, that's not a bad strategy, but that is a toxic strategy. So that's why I never really sell my positions, because we all lose if we lose. But yeah, I guess I can't get many fills at all for this. Shit. What's going on, Grande? Grande, get this. I know you know, but I was telling them we started the week, we lost the 5K. And now we're back, Grande, to only being down 1K on the week, guys. I'm only down $1,000 at this point. Do you know how easy it is for me to make $1,000? I'm kidding. You can also lose $1,000, you know, so I gotta keep my head straight. But I've been on a tear since losing the 5K. I did not let it get to me. But Grande, that means you need to send me some locks to help me get through it this week, you know. I've done my part, okay? I've done my part on locks, okay? We're officially, Grande, we're officially even when it comes to alpha sharing. Some might even say tipped a little bit one side. I'm only joking. All right, well, DM me them. I actually have a ton of cash now. You guys see? Let me move my since all the since all the Spotify markets, I'll remove the but I now have 47K cash because all the Spotify markets resolved. So I need to start bonding stuff. If you guys want some bonds, by the way, be careful, right? You can lose money on anything, okay? So I use the word bonds sparingly. But where my money is parked right now, at least a chunk of it. So a ton was in the okay, good deal. A ton was in the Bad Bunny market. Now now it's in this Anthropic to not be number one. I think this is pretty safe. But the AI stuff is heating up a little bit. I do want to look more into that one. All right, what should we watch for in the weekly mentions? Yeah, he inherited the worst inflation in history from sleepy Joe Biden signing orders with his auto pen. Everyone knows the drill. There's also nicknames. Huh. There's not really much that could come up here, though. Yeah, exactly, Go-Go. Claude 5 isn't going to drop until next year. So I think it's very safe shorting Claude. And also Claude, if you guys don't know, just does terrible in LM Arena. So even if Claude 5 dropped, I'll say this now, I do not think there's a reasonable chance it would even overtake Gemini 3. All right, so here's the December market. Stream is frozen, you're saying? Wait. It's been happening all day, then it mutes itself? Is that my stream, you're saying? You guys should try. Guys, here, let me send you my YouTube. It might be a better viewing experience on YouTube. So let me send. I also restream it to YouTube and Twitch. Here. So this might be better. Copy. Here, let me ping my YouTube link in the X channel. Here, I just sent the YouTube link. Yeah, I'm trying to stream more. I restreamed to YouTube and Twitch because X is such a shitty viewing experience. I'm aware of it. Wait, something is pumping my portfolio. What's happening? What's moving up? Was it... Huh. All right, we're getting close and close. I don't think a White House stream has started yet, though. Let me check. Yeah, still no White House streams. This is still a ways away. Can I find anything last minute that I like? Just bought in on AutoPen. I don't think AutoPen's a terrible idea. I might try to get in on it live. You know, I probably can't buy anything here and not get like penny jumped to the absolute max based on my experience of trying to place orders like in the last 10 minutes. So I'm going to wait till it's live. I'll put up some orders. Maybe people will dump some yes shares into me. The good thing is with live trading, you can live trade on yes on mentions. You just cannot live trade on no. What do I recommend getting into? I mean, I do think EV/electric is a pretty close to a bond, honestly. Like I view it. You're on yes for battery emission and manufacturing. Oh my gosh, we're counterparties. I don't know. It's like he doesn't say battery and emission that frequently. Obviously, it's going to center around all this EV stuff. So probably he'll say it. I get where you guys are coming from. Not being able to live trade no should say something about your counterparties in general. Well, I just say that be more EV because if you try to live trade a no position, like you put out a limit order, you're going to get adversely selected. So like someone's going to have a latency advantage for you. So if you have a bid on a no and the word gets said, it's going to immediately get filled, right? Versus the reverse. John Jung, how do you get filled large volumes with limit orders? You just got to be patient, honestly. It's just like, and getting in really early, where like you set them up, early. But, don't be afraid to be a taker, right? Sometimes if the price is like wild, like I will frequently be a taker. Don't get me wrong. In reference to mention markets. But it's obviously not ideal because you'll pay the fees, and then you won't necessarily get the lowest price. But things can be priced so crazy wrong that like sometimes I will just like buy up a lot of the order book. Still no White House stream. What are people saying in ideas? Are people fudding closed press at all yet? Oh, people, they actually are. We see, I know that this is being sarcastic, but we do see a closed press. Why is AutoPen price so high? Oh gosh. They're about to find out. No Biden strike, they patched the infinite money glitch. This is actually pretty funny. I will screenshot this. Holy cow. Did you guys see this play? They started launching NBA announcer markets. I guess Tyrael got in at 20 cents on a 2%, $20 to 1,000. Dude, what the hell? Oh, I got to get into these NBA announcer mentions. I'm missing out. How am I not playing these? Thoughts on affordability? What does it drop down to? He's coming for my throne? Dude, I have no debate on it. Tyrael is a better mention market trader than me. For those who know the lore of Tyrael, he's been in the game, as have I, for like a year. He used to do mention streams like a year ago. Guy's a legend. Who is even buying the other side of that? People who think it's a bond. There's so much ground to cover on the NBA announcer markets. Yeah, there definitely are. Like, going back to what I say of like the markets I like the most, right? Like new mention markets and just new markets in general, right? Like new market categories. That is going to be the absolute best place for you to find edges. And why, right? It's very clear why, right? Because they are unsolved. So NFL announcer markets, I trade those frequently. I've made about $9,000 on the NFL announcer markets over the period they've offered them. So that's going back to maybe, I think they started offering them early October. When they started out, they were extremely non-solved. Like, no one knew how to price them because nobody had good data. And that's how things are in the beginning. And then as the markets evolve, people see it's a frequent offering. They become more and more efficient over time to where now the NFL announcer markets, they're pretty efficient. You can still find a lot of edges, but they're pretty efficient. I still trade them. Like I still find edges every single time. But like it's so much more efficient than it was in the beginning. I can't tell you how inefficient it was. And it's going to be the same thing with the NBA announcer markets. I guess the only trade-off is I was looking at the NBA markets yesterday, and like liquidity was pretty thin, and it was because it was also spread out. They offered 6 NBA announcer markets, so yeah, the liquidity got a little spread out. No NBA markets tonight? I guess not. Do I have a Discord? Yeah, I do. If you go on my Twitter, it's in my Twitter bio. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not that active in my Discord. But if you ping me and like you at me in Discord, I'll probably respond. I just like, you know, I feel like I'm in like a million text channels. Like everybody is starting a Discord. It's like crazy. There's so many freaking. So I don't know. I feel like it scatters people a little bit. Like the Kalshi Discord absolutely is better than my Discord. Instead of edges, do you ever go in with size on guaranteed strikes? Yes, Ivan, I totally do. But I think it's a misnomer to say that that's not an edge. There are strikes that I will frequently find in recurring mention markets that are priced at like 90 cents. And yes, I will throw $3,000 on those in the 90s if their fair value is like 99. No Maduro. I think it's probably incredibly safe, to be honest. I'll actually buy some No Maduro. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, there's value at 78. Sure. He'll definitely probably get asked about Venezuela. Do we know what this announcement is about? Yes, it's about he's reversing, like this fuel rules that they had under the Biden era. It's like I think they were like forced to like only use X amount of gasoline versus like EV. And it's getting rolled back. Yeah, and mention metrics. Guess who was on No Maduro, by the way? When everybody was like, this is going to center on Venezuela, yada, yada, this is a lock. I was on No Maduro, 1,000 shares at 30 cents. So, you know, not to tout my own horn, but a lot of people were telling me that was a bad play yesterday. I know ball, all right? Damn, does anything make sense here? Twitch is better than YouTube or is better than a mission no or climate change no? Well, what's a mission up to? I don't know. It's kind of difficult because vibes say yes, but historical says no on a mission and climate change. He could easily say both words. You know, I think it's probably pretty fair to be a 50-50. I kind of don't lean any way. I would probably buy no shares if I were to do anything, but I don't know. There's a very clear world where he says it with what it relates to, with this whole thing centering on like EV and that kind of stuff. Hottest yes at 62 ain't bad. I know. I agree with you. But it dipped all the way down to 46 20 minutes ago. How did I not get it there? Climate change hoax. Do I think Trump is going to do this private? It's been a long time. No, I do not think this is going to be private. But I hope others do. Like, I am totally comfortable with this dragging on for a while, and then I could buy cheap yes shares. You bought no on November 5th at 51 cents. I I mean, let's see. You probably are getting no, like, kind of close to fair value with November 5th. I think it's priced pretty fair. We need Indian FUD Cabal to spam in comments that it's not going to happen. I would not mind if any FUD Cabal did spam that. But this is getting pretty delayed. Fake news at 52 on yes. I don't know. I lean towards no on that strike, but not enough to buy shares of it. I just think given the format, like, I don't expect them to ask him that many, like, controversial attacking questions, you know what I mean? Holy shit, this is 45 minutes late officially. Why are people not fudding that this is going to be closed? All right, let me see. I'll start some FUD in the Discord. If anyone sees my comments in the Kalshi Discord, that is FUD. I'm just fudding. Don't worry. It's sarcastic. Aren't you guys happy that I don't have RSBN playing? Drill, baby, drill at 48. I understand why it's priced where it is. Huh. All right, maybe I take a play here. You're upset about no Biden strike? What do you mean, Varun? There's a Sleepy Joe strike. Isn't that the same thing? No on China at 68? Wait. You mean yes on? You just hit on the Penn State coach? This one is easy. First four are overpriced. Are you saying EV and gas? I don't know about gas, but Greek is commenting in here. Yeah, the Kalshi mentions this. I love that shit. It is so funny. I miss what there used to be. Someone said the announcement is about fuel standards. What do you mean, Jamil? I've been saying that in this stream the whole time. China could be brought up if it's... Yeah, but it is priced pretty damn high on China. I guess it's kind of fair value. "45 minutes. Come on, Trump." I know. I'm just messing Jamil. All right, we'll give some background. This is what it's... I got an idea. I'll Photoshop a fake. No, that's market manipulation. Um, I mean, I think EV is 100% too. You think affordability is overvalued? I don't know if I would agree. And I don't think I would agree that it was more likely to come up yesterday. It's starting now on the White House press. Wait up, let me pull limits. Is it live on White House? Where are you seeing it's on? Or is it just RSPN? Am I delayed? Oh man, that is a nice domain name. I don't know what I'll do. Wait. Go down to see the lowest percent? Yeah. It's Butcher. What is the lore on Butcher? Does anyone have lore on why it would ever say Butcher? Is White House stream up? Wait, White House stream isn't even up. Who was just saying it's starting right now? Somebody just spooked me. I just pulled all my orders. I just got fudded by someone in the chat. What's the reason he'd say November 5th? Because he says that when he refers to the election, and he uses that a lot when he's just talking about things. He'll say, going back to the monumental election on November 5th. Why is rare earth so low? Does rare earth really tie into fuel though? I don't know if I see it there. Is Trump in the Kalshi Discord dropping Butcher? I don't even understand the lore on Butcher. Okay, but now that this is back, this is what it's supposed to relate to. I get that a lot of this is going to be cut off. Let me zoom up. I have to make something smaller on my OBS. Let me make my chat smaller. Okay. Let me move this. All right. He will tie gas prices to fake news. That's not a terrible idea, actually. Butcher when describing MS-13 gang. Oh. Is the market like nosediving today? I heard employment numbers were really bad today. Oh. Market's pumping today. Someone told me jobs report was like I don't know what I was hearing. C-SPAN says it starts in 10 minutes. Okay. But yeah, guys, it's supposed to relate to historic reset of Biden fuel rules. Touts 109 billion in savings. Ah, damn, I just like that one strike. You want short markets on Kalshi, like 2 to 5 minute live markets? You want the max degen markets, is that what you're saying? I mean, that would be fun. They could probably do that for like crypto price markets. I guess they only have 1 hour long ones. I don't know how anyone. I don't know what strategies people use in those markets. Has to be very difficult to try to predict crypto price movements. Oh, what's happening? Okay. Man, this is like so delayed. Come on, Trump. White House stream still isn't up? Oh, White House stream is up. Okay, this has to be starting like very shortly. Let me check. I'm gonna stick with AP. Auto pen's kind of coming down a little bit. Yeah, like I said, my strategy, just gonna let whatever happens happen in the opening remarks, and then we're gonna play for the Q&A. So once Trump finishes speaking, yeah, White House stream is live, but it doesn't. I don't think it has anything. I think AP might be better stream. Why is chat and stream so delayed? Because streams have like, I don't know, a 10-second delay. I don't set one. It's just uh, Twitter, all this stuff, they all do delays. Yeah, White House stream isn't even live. All right, anything else going on in the mentions? That's a good idea, Jamil, you know? That's what I recommend. Just be a watcher for a while. Watch these markets. Democrat no at 9 cents plus EV. I don't think that's. I mean, yeah, I don't think it's plus EV because he's gonna talk about Biden a ton. All of these old bills were passed under the Democrats. So I don't think it's plus EV, and this whole thing happening, like I don't really see that as a real risk. But anything can happen. But I don't see this being closed press as a real risk. And I mean, it's reflected in the price action. Yeses aren't really getting any cheaper. How are people commenting on X? You can go on my X. I stream on Twitter too, but YouTube is supposedly better. Yeah, Twitter is always tweaking, but like I said, I'm on YouTube and Twitch. So, those are better. I understand what you're saying, Henry, but like I don't know. There's just an easy way he could weave it here to not say explicitly manufacturing. He could say like car producers. He could say nothing's guaranteed, but I liked getting into this in the 30s. I'm not buying now in the 40s, but oh, here we go. Here we go.
Cameras back here.
We gotta work on it.
Oh, this is going to be a yap fest. Holy, look at all the people there. All right, it's time to lock in.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much. You all set? Well, we're talking about cafe standards, a very big deal, very important today. My administration has taken historic action to lower costs for American consumers, protect American auto jobs, and make buying a car much more affordable for countless American families and also safer. We're officially terminating Joe Biden's ridiculously burdensome, horrible actually, cafe standards that imposed expensive restrictions and all sorts of problems, gave all sorts of problems to automakers. And we're not only talking about here, we're talking about outside of our country, because nobody could do it. Nobody wanted to do it, and it was ridiculous, very expensive. It put tremendous upward pressure on car prices, combined with the insane electric vehicle mandate. Biden's burdensome regulations helped cause the price of cars to soar more than 25%. And in one case, they went up 18% in 1 year. Today, we're taking one more step to kill the Green New scam. It's part of the greatest scam, probably, well, other than Russia, and a few others I could name. The greatest scam in American history, the Green New scam. And it's a quest to end the gasoline-powered car. This is what they wanted to do, even though we have more gasoline than any other country by far. And people want the gasoline car. They want everything. They want electric. They want to have lots of alternatives, but they do want the gasoline car. Right now, it's leading away by a lot. The car business is a very interesting business, but we want to keep it that way. I want to thank Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, Deputy Transportation Secretary Stephen Bradbury, as well as CEO of Ford, Jim Farley. Jim, where is Jim? Let's see. Hi, Jim. Congratulations. You're doing a great job. CEO of Stellantis, Antonio Filosa. Thank you very much, Antonio. Chairman of the National Automobile Dealers Association, Tom Castrida.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Tom. Great to have you. And Manager of General Motors Orient Plant, John Urbanek.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Great to have you guys here. And you're going to say a few words in a minute about how ridiculous this was, but we've just freed you up. So you're going to have a good day and have a good number of years. Thanks as well to Senator Shelley Moore Capito, Ted Cruz, Kevin Kramer, Marsha Blackburn, Eric Schmidt, and Bernie Marino, as well as Representative Sam Graves, Vern Buchanan, Mike Kelly, Roger Williams, Lisa McLean, and Troy Balderson. All great people. These are great people. And I know there's a lot of support long beyond the people that are here. We've had tremendous support on this. From day one, I've been taking action to make buying a car more affordable. I signed an executive order to end the unfair, expensive electric vehicle mandate. As you know, we had to have an electric car within a very short period of time, even though there was no way of charging them and lots of other things. It would have cost $5 trillion to build the charging plants.
Truly.
And as you know, in certain parts of the Midwest, they spent to build 9
I know, John.
chargers.
I just added a limit
They
for
spent
that.
$8 billion. So that wasn't working out too well. That was done before me, by the way. I wouldn't have let it go forward. We're canceling the EPA's absurd tailpipe emission standards, one of the most important things that I've never had a group of people come to me more more powerfully and really just devastated that they had to do it. It was killing them than the automobile manufacturers, the tailpipe emission standards. And I can tell you, your people at Ford were coming to me all the time, and they were saying, like, please, it doesn't do anything, and it's killing us. And it's driving the cost through the roof. And we revoked Biden's emissions waiver for California so that California communists could not regulate the automobile industry and ruin the entire nation of automobiles. And they were doing that too. But we have that now under control also with your governor, who's got much more than he can control. Now, under the new rules being issued today by Secretary Duffy, the Department of Transportation will rescind the Biden fuel economy prices. And I hate to say that because they were really not economy. They were really, they were anti-economy. They were horrible what they were doing to the costs and actually making the car much worse. But these policies forced automakers to build cars using expensive technologies that drove up costs, drove up prices, and made the car much worse. The action is expected to save the typical consumer at least $1,000 off the price of a new car, and we think substantially more than that. Under the Trump administration, $70 billion are now being invested in the American auto industry. Ford has announced it will invest $5 billion across its Kentucky and Michigan plants. Is that a correct statement?
That's right.
That's a lot, $5 billion. You
Yeah,
could do more. Creating at least 4,000 new jobs. Stellantis announced that it will invest $13 billion to expand its U.S.-based manufacturing by more than 50% and open new manufacturing facilities across the country. And I think a big part of that is also the tariffs.
Tariff.
Because
Damn
the
it, I had a
tariffs
limit
are coming
trying
in, not only the automobile
should've
industry,
just market
AI,
bot.
we're leading China in AI, we're leading everybody in AI, we're leading everybody in everything. We have the hottest country right now. I will
Hottest.
tell you, a lot of political people
It
behind
was
me, great
you.
political people, very successful political people. We have the hottest country anywhere in the world. 1 year ago, we had a dead country. And now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. And it started from November 5th. But it also
November
started when
5th.
we did the tariffs, and we've had tremendous support on the tariffs.
It was
It's
always
bringing in
yes.
Trillions of dollars of wealth. It's bringing in national security.
Oh, he already said
And I've
manufacturing
stopped
too.
8 wars, and of the 8 wars, 5 of them have been because of tariffs and trade. So they're very
Nice. I'm
important.
getting
And
Mexico.
General Motors plans to invest $4 billion as it brings its manufacturing back to the United States from Mexico.
I just got
After
filled.
falling by 5%,
Yes.
US
I
auto
literally got
production
filled
surged
200,
by 10%
right?
so
As
far
it-
this year. You know, I won the auto workers vote, but now even the head of the auto workers said Trump is the greatest
Let's
president
go.
we've ever seen. And he happens to be right about that. But we're protecting our auto workers, and we're making it easier for every family to afford high-quality cars. In other words, we're bringing automobiles back and the manufacturing of automobiles back into this country. We lost 52% over the years, 52% of our automobile manufacturing. You see it, closed factories all over the place. Now they're all opening up. They're being, in most cases, they're being knocked down, and new ones are being built in their place. And a big beneficiary is the state of Michigan, but South Carolina, even states that didn't really do too much with the automobiles, they're
Jumped.
opening up plants. It's been amazing. So between automobile plants, AI plants, and plants of every other nation, really every other type, including chips, we're going to have a big percentage of the chip market very soon. Not because of the CHIPS Act, which was horrible and ridiculous, where we just gave these companies billions and billions of dollars, and they just kept the money, but because of what we did with tariffs. They have to build here, otherwise they're going to have to pay tariffs. They won't be able to do business in the United States. And we're going to have a big percentage of the chip industry. As of about a year ago, 2 years ago, we had none. And now we're going to have a very big percentage when it all finishes out. So I'd like to ask Secretary Duffy to speak, and then Mr. Farley, and then Filosa, and Urbanik, and Castrita. And also, we're going to ask some of our political leaders to speak, because let me tell you, they went out of their way. This was not easy. And people were brainwashed. This is a green new scam. And
Oh.
people were paying too much for a car that didn't work as well. And now they're going to have a great car that's going to be environmentally friendly, but it's going to cost you a lot less, and it's going to work great. All of the nonsense is being
Checking
taken
if that
out
was
of
a
the
strike.
cars. So, Secretary Duffy, could you say a few words?
Okay, now that Trump is done talking, let me turn this down. Yeah. Someone was asking Mexico. We got a great live trade on Mexico. Hey, John Chung, I already had my limit order up before you said that. For the record. But I appreciate you not penny jumping me. But yeah, we got this live. We invested $44 because somebody was dumping it, and we made $165 on a $40. So that's cool. I mean, it was just funny because my order filled, and then right after he said Mexico. But I mean, I need to size up. Let's see. So all these other people are gonna yap now.
Save lives.
All right, I'll let them you can kind of hear what they're saying.
These rules are going to allow the automakers to make vehicles that Americans want to purchase, not vehicles that Joe Biden and Buttigieg.
Anyone actually have a consistently profitable strat for this?
But also this is important for American jobs.
It's hard. You need to watch these
And so this is jobs, this is free.
very frequently. I watch literally every single one of Trump's speeches.
And I appreciate what the Senate did with the big beautiful bill and what we've done here.
So
Thank you very much. Big, beautiful bill is it's something. It's amazing. Wait till people see the benefits and the lower taxes that they're going to have, lower regulations. So, how about Ford?
Mr. President and Secretary, all the important lawmakers here, competitors, today is a victory of common sense and affordability. We're very proud of Ford to be the #1 auto producer in our country. 80% of the vehicles we sell here we make in our country. And we never left, unlike many of our competitors. We're the #1 exporter, and we have the most auto factory workers. And this CAFE standard that is aligned with customer demand is the right move for a lot of reasons. We were #2 last year in EV sales. We were #3 in hybrid, and we're the leading brand for combustion. We believe that people should be able to make a choice, as you said, Mr. President, and we will invest more in affordable vehicles. This allows us to invest in affordable vehicles made in the U.S., which we will take the lead on, and will allow us to make vehicles more affordable. So thank you for making this step for all of you.
Thank you very much. One of the other things we're doing, it's separate from this meeting, but I think everybody here would agree with it. If you go to Japan, where I just left, and if you go to South Korea and Malaysia and other countries, they have a very small car, sort of like the Beetle used to be with the Volkswagen. They're very small, they're really cute. And I said, how would that do in this country? And everyone seems to think good, but you're not allowed to build them. And I've authorized the secretary to immediately approve the production of those cars. So you'll be able to buy, they really are, they're actually, some of them are really beautiful, actually. If you take a look, Honda, some of the Japanese companies do a beautiful job. But we're not allowed to make them in this country. And I think you're going to do very well with those cars. So we're going to approve those cars. Would you like to say something about that?
Well, no, just that he never stops working, so even when he's on Asian time, he's calling me at midnight in the States. But he gave me the directive to clear the regulations on this, to which we have. And so if Toyota or any other company wants to make smaller, more affordable cars, fuel efficient, we have cleared the deck so they can make them in America and sell them in America.
They're really nice and less expensive. And it really gives people a chance to have a car, you know, have a brand new car as opposed to a car that maybe isn't so great. And so you car companies start thinking about that. I think it's going to be a tremendous market. Please, would you like to say something?
Thank you, Mr. President. It's a great day for us at Stellantis today, because it's the day where we see CAFE regulation reconciled with real customers' demand. That's why at Stellantis we decided to invest through Jeep, Ram, Dodge, and Chrysler, $13 billion in the next 4 years, increasing production by 50%, delivering to the market 5 new vehicles, and creating 5,000 additional jobs. That's because we believe in what you, Secretary Duffy, and all your team is doing in this country. We believe in growth, and we are ready to invest even more. So thank you very much. Thank you very much also for this great news of the K cars, which we are very interested in. And we are very looking forward to work with Secretary Duffy, your team, in the future for the next steps. Thank you very much.
We'll get ready for those cars because we've
We will.
already cleared the way. You can start right away.
We will.
Yeah?
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Please.
Mr. President, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much.
We support your leadership for this issue that is so important to the auto industry. I'm here
Yeah, the
representing
small
the
cars
hard-working men
would be
and women of Orion Assembly in Michigan.
Right.
The facility, our manufacturing facility there is currently going through a retool so that we can build additional U.S. manufactured pickup trucks and full-size sport utilities for our customers, and we're so excited about that. And thank you for your support. Secretary Duffy, thank you as well.
And this is largely coming in because of the tariff situation. We're taking in trillions of dollars, actually, trillions, and we have so many other advantages. But these great companies are coming back to the United States. They left the United States. If somebody was sitting behind this desk that knew what they were doing, that wouldn't have happened. They would have said, well, you can sell your car here, but we're going to put 100% tariff, and you would have never had the auto industry leave. Again, we lost more than 50% of our auto industry, and now it's all coming back, and I think it's coming back. Ultimately, it's going to be bigger. I believe it's going to be bigger than it was before, actually, but it's an honor to have you here, and please, would you like to say something?
President?
Thank you very much.
Let's
Tom
see,
Castuta, sir,
people
I'm
aren't
the
really
chairman of
dumping.
National Automobile Dealers that represent 18,000 dealers in the country, along with 3,000 heavy-duty truck dealers. And what the actions that you've done as the president and your administration is definitely going to save our customers money. And you
Shoot, I
made
should have market
promises
bought
that
those
let the
investment
consumer buy what they want, sir, and you delivered on that. And the other thing that you delivered was your promise in the big, beautiful bill, the tax deduction on loans that had gone away some years back.
Right.
And now that makes it affordable for our buyers that can save money through that loan of the tax, anywhere from several hundred to several thousand. So again, sir, on behalf of all the dealers and our customers, we appreciate what you and your administration have done, and of course, our legislative support as well, Mr. President.
Thank you. That's very nice, and I'm glad you brought that up. We're allowing people to deduct. So if you go out and buy a car, and this is for middle income, but for lower income, no matter what, they never really had deductions. You know, rich people like deductions, but middle income people would never really afford deductions, which is very unfair. You borrow money to buy a car, you're allowed to deduct the interest from your income tax. And I think that's going to be one of the most, in terms of your industry, I think it's going to be the biggest thing that we're talking about, maybe even bigger than cafe standards. People are going to be able to borrow money, deduct it, so it's going to cost them essentially half. And
I might not get
they'll
any
be-
crazy cheap
It'll help.
fills.
Yes, sir.
I think it's going to be a
People are
tremendous factory.
pretty
They've never had a chance to
smart.
do that before. And that's all done. That's all in the great, big, beautiful bill. So it's really terrific. I'd like to ask a couple of our political leaders to say, because you guys have done an amazing job. This was something that was going to be very tough. We had to fight lunatics to get it done, and they had no answers. You know, it's you just present them with the facts.
I just want to be very
And they just say,
careful to
well,
be
we're
ready to
just not
pull
going to
my
vote for it.
orders.
They couldn't talk about it, but they didn't want to vote. I see Mike Kelly, my friend back there, has been with me from day one, right?
Yep.
What do you have to say, Mike?
Well, you know what? I think you hit the key. Everybody's talking about the same thing. In
Look
America,
the way they like each other. You can, now you can see, there's no hatred between these two guys.
yeah, as long as I beat his price, we're friends. Yeah, but you hit it nail on the head. The American people have always been able to choose what they want to buy.
Right.
They don't want to be taken out of a market by people who, quite frankly, don't even drive their own car, and saying this is the way you've got to go going into the future, and say, well, you may say that, but you're not in the market. You have no idea. And I know the business we're in. At the end of the day, if you were there with me, I'd say, "So, Mr. President, other
Dylan,
than
I'm
price,
using
what's keeping you
AP.
from taking the car home today?
AP's YouTube
it's
streams.
always price. And the fact that we can build a
But it's
car
just
that's
the White House stream,
affordable,
basically.
that people want to buy, that's the key to it. What you've done is unlock the most ridiculous statute that ever came in with CAFE. It wasn't done by the Congress. It wasn't done. It was done by President Obama after the courts failed on it. So thank you for doing what you're doing. You're making America great again. in every single way. Thank you.
Thank you. It's going to be so big for the auto manufacturers. People aren't even going to believe the impact this has. You know, Mike used to come to my rallies all the time, and we'd have a rally. It was like 0 degrees. It was freezing everywhere, and he'd sit there without a shirt on. And I didn't need that, you know. I didn't say it was pretty, but he would sit there in the cold, and he didn't mind it at all. I said, "That's one tough cookie, right?"
You lit it up. We didn't need any heat. You were there.
We had a good time. We had a lot of great rallies.
We
right?
did. We did.
Pennsylvania. Please, Mr. Congressman.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Man, nobody's
I
dumping
represent the dealer body.
shares.
I'm a dealer, and we got some other dealers in here, but this is huge for the dealer body, the local car dealer. We're going to be able to sell what the customer wants. The manufacturer's going to make what the customer wants. We've got all kinds of options to the big bill. It's going to enable people, as we talked about, to deduct payments and so forth. As we say in the business, they've never been cheaper than they are today, Mr. President. And it's going to be a great opportunity for the dealer body to sell what consumers want. And 99% of the businesses in
getting some.
America are small businesses. Many are car
Yeah.
dealers, employ a lot
Phil,
of people.
investment
It's going
shares.
to be a great year for us. We appreciate your leadership. And we
I just
appreciate, man,
gotta be
from
ready to
from a
pull my
retail
bids.
standpoint, we appreciate the manufacturers going to step up and build cars that customers want and that we want to sell. So thank you very much. It makes it a great country.
He's also a very brave congressman because
Oh,
he
yeah,
was
I'm
there
getting
on the
Phil.
baseball field that horrible day with Steve Scalise and some other people. He was hit, but he took it very well. He took it very well. You're my pal.
Thank you.
Thanks. Great job.
Appreciate you.
Great job. Appreciate it. Kevin, could you say a few words of wisdom? One of the really smart economic forecasters, I will tell you. Beyond an economist, he's a real forecaster. Please.
Sir, I think that there's a massive macroeconomic benefit to what we're doing today. And the way to think about it is that the car that has the best gas mileage that you could buy that has only gasoline is a Honda that gets about 36 miles per gallon. Joe Biden wanted to make every car
Sleepy
on
Joe.
average be
Is he
above
gonna say
50.
Sleepy
So there's
Joe?
no car made in the U.S. that you would be able to sell 2 years from now, 3 years from now under that rule. Because what he wanted to do was make everybody have an electric car, as you know. But here's the thing, that if everybody had an electric car, then nobody would be buying
Wait, is that
gasoline
Kevin
anymore,
Hassett?
And they'd have to take all
I
the
haven't been following the
miles that
Fed
they
chair
travel
race
and
at
put it on
all
the grid.
outside of Trump
And so we would have
talking
to
about it
increase
yesterday.
the production of electricity in the U.S. by 25% over the next couple of years if they had their way. And so you've really stopped a massive disruption for the economy with this. And so thank you, sir.
And that wasn't the main reason, and yet it certainly is a main reason. You wouldn't have been able
I
to
hope
do
you
it
get
even if
Sleepy
you
Joe.
wanted it. It's just so crazy. That was the
Praying for you.
mandate, which we ended. Troy, would you like to say something?
Great honor, thank you. My family is a former dealer, 48 years, Chrysler Dodge dealer. And then I got into the political world, sir. I had more fun in the dealership world, but
Ooh, I
miss
just got
it,
AutoPen
but
shares.
I
Okay,
still
okay.
play a big role
Someone
in
is dumping
automobiles and
AutoPen.
Grateful. I remember under President Obama, when the CAFE standards changed, as Mike brought up, and going through those challenging times. As a Chrysler dealer before Stellantis came along, it was Daimler before you guys got it. So thank you very much for being here and making these changes. And as you said, that interest on the car loan piece was big. And I know that Bernie led the charge on that in the Senate and get it into one big, beautiful bill. That really is a big deal, and people need to understand how big a deal that is.
You did a great job. And by the way, we had a great victory last night. All to all.
Great victory.
Kind of like our race, huh?
He's going to be a great congressman, I think so. Really, like us, right?
Yeah, like us.
One of my early endorsements, right?
Yes, sir.
Can we talk about it? You're right there is a man. Come in, let me say hello to you.
Come on, Trump. Let's bring the AutoPen home.
Thank you, Mr. President,
you.
for your leadership. But the thing I've admired most, you've been in business, you've been in the battles over the years, and you're helping us lead us out. Most people that are up here have no idea about business or small business.
That's
Makes
true.
a big difference. One is, number
My-
two
my-
is.
my thesis
I
on
would just
AutoPen
say in terms of the
is
tax
it'll
stuff
come
we're
up in
talking
Q&A.
about, one of the things that get missed, and I'm in
That's why I
support of
liked it, and the
Sarasota region,
20s.
is the ability to deduct. Most people have a small business, they'll have a lawn business, they'll have this, that, they buy a new or used truck. They can take that
Man, these are
deduction,
getting
let's say
cheap.
they're in a 20% tax bracket, but the vehicle's 60 grand, they can take 20% of the 60 grand, get a $12,000 write-off. They can pay their payments for the first year. That's a powerful tool we don't talk about. I
Wow,
don't
someone
know
asked
why,
me if no
but
Democrat
at
had
the end of the
value.
day,
I'm
because
sorry
of
for
what you've put
doubting.
in place full expensing.
I hope you still
That's
bought
the
it and
tool they would
I didn't
use.
FUD you.
And you could just think about all the people in Florida, just general places. They're buying old vans or new vans. They're buying trucks, mainly trucks, and they're getting a deduction. They don't even have a payment for a year.
That's right.
So it's one of the best things for
One
Florida.
of the
and
biggest
everybody
things
else.
in the
Yeah,
expensing.
expensing is a powerful tool. They can write the whole asset off.
Okay, you
first
still
year,
got some?
take
Good.
that
I'm proud of
deduction,
you.
put 12,000 in their pocket on a 20,000. Well, let me mention one other thing. They got into the e-vehicles, electric cars, and I'm talking to dealers that come in and talk to me, and basically they couldn't sell one, they couldn't give one away, and when these companies they got in because of whatever political pressure under Biden administration, and they end up realizing that they got no market. A guy says, the car's been sitting there a year, I can't get rid of it. So they don't understand the market. The people produce the vehicles, and that's made a big difference in your leadership. But thanks for what you're doing here today. It's big, it's huge, it'll make a big difference. $12,000 on a $60,000 vehicle.
Holy
up
cow,
front,
someone bought
day one.
AutoPen up in the
Thank you.
60s.
Thank you very much.
I don't know about
Yeah.
that.
You know, we're just talking about something that's interesting. Ford would make, and I don't want to speak for Ford because we have one of the top people right here.
Mr. President, it's fine if you want to talk about Ford.
Ford would make numerous electric cars in order to sell one Ford 150. Because they'd make all their money with the 150.
Yes.
And they were willing to lose money on building 2 or 3 electric cars that they couldn't sell in order to make some money on the 150, because the 150 is a monster. I'll tell you what, that no matter where you go, they love that Ford 150.
Yes.
But isn't it a ridiculous model when you have to build 2 or 3 cars that you know you're not going to be selling or not be selling for much in order to really do something that you should have the right to do, which is make a car that you want to make?
Yes.
And that the market wants, right? So congratulations on the 150.
Thank you. Best-selling vehicle in the United States.
Just saying.
Now it's
100% built in the United States.
now it's only going to do no, but it really is. It's amazing. It's an amazing brand.
There was a lot of stupid things done here.
What would you like to say?
Yeah, I thank you, Mr. President, and Secretary Duffy, and all of us. You know, one of the last times I was here is when you signed the electric vehicle CRA, Congressional Review Act, that all of us participated in.
How
The
low is this
beginning of
getting?
really
So much
making
getting
common
bills.
sense, because it was going to impact 17 other states and really a large part of our economy. This is about affordability here. I'm just going to say one thing. Well, maybe I already said one thing, so now I'm going to say 2 things. When we talk about a car and auto,
up to
we
you
sort
if
of
you
talk
wanna
about
dump.
just, oh, we
I
need a
have
car.
bids up,
Do you
so
know
I'd
what a
probably be
car
the one
does
buying
for
your
a
shares.
family? You can take your children to school, you can go to the store, you can visit your mother, you can go to church, you can have a job, you have the flexibility that you need. A car for an American family is about a roadway to prosperity.
Big deal.
It's a big deal. And so by making them more affordable, making them more choice-driven by what families want and need, today is a great day for the American family. Absolutely. Thank you.
Absolutely, and the American worker.
Say.
Well, thank you, Mr. President and Secretary Duffy, and to my colleagues that are here. In Tennessee, we make great automobiles, and we have a
Great
fantastic
automobiles in
workforce.
Tennessee.
And whether you're GM or Ford, with their new investment in Tennessee, or Nissan or VW or Toyota with the engine plant, what you see is the components that are necessary to build these cars. And removing these standards and making cars more affordable does mean that more people will purchase them, but it also means we're going to have to make more cars to meet that demand, and for Tennessee, that is a great thing.
So, you know, I'm just sitting here and I'm thinking, like, we have the biggest auto manufacturers in the world. They're talking about investing billions and investing it as we speak. But
Come on, say investment.
billions and billions of dollars in our country. Thank you very much. And they're here. They're not like, well, maybe we'll do it. They're doing it because of tariffs, and they're doing it because of maybe they like the president, and we're doing things like this for them, which frankly, no matter who you are, this should be done. And we're doing things like deductibility of interest when you borrow money. To buy a car, you're allowed to deduct it from your income tax. That is a massive tax cut for people that probably are going to be trying to buy that car anyway. And I really think that interest factor is going to be one of the biggest things. When I was proud of that because I thought of it, and it seems so simple. Other people are allowed big interest. If you're a rich person, you're allowed to have big interest deductions for different things you do. But if you're a middle-income person that has to buy a car, you were never entitled to anything. And now you're getting a full interest
Wrap
deduction
it up.
on the loan.
He's probably still going to do
And
Q&A.
I think that's going to have one of the biggest impacts. But we're here with companies that are investing tens of billions of dollars in our country as we speak.
Come on.
It's not going to be in 2 years or 3 years. A lot of it's because of the expensing provision in the bill, in the big, beautiful bill. But a miracle is happening in our country. It's a miracle. This is just the auto industry, but we have other industries where it's the same thing. They're building all over our country, and this is a revolution is happening. It's a business revolution. It's a jobs revolution. It's a car revolution. We're bringing back the car industry that was stolen from us because we have people that didn't know what they were doing sitting at this desk. They put the wrong people in because they weren't advised properly. And this is really an incredible thing that's happening. Go ahead, Kevin.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. And I think in many respects, pretty much everything that could be said has been, except that I think what Kevin talks about in terms of the cascading economic opportunity from this one single event is just the tip of the iceberg. When you think of all the rules and regulations that you have repealed, I think it's more important, frankly, than the tax cuts. However, in the Working Family Tax Cuts Act, remember we made permanent a lot of really good policy from the first Trump era, not the least of which for small businesses is bonus depreciation. The opportunity to depreciate the year that you purchase an F-150 for your small business or
I'm
a
gonna lower the
large
volume.
truck.
Okay, right? Here's what we're banking on. We're banking on there being a Q&A, okay?
And we're going to see an escalation of economic
And that's
opportunity
why
in
I'm
which
accumulating
I
some
probably
yes
have never
shares.
seen.
So we're banking on this continuing to go on.
Nobody in the world, because there's never been 18 or whatever it ends up being. In 10 months, we have $18 trillion being invested. We never had $1 trillion being invested.
He keeps saying
And
invested.
Biden had much less than that. Think of it. He had less than $1 trillion over 4 years. We have $18 trillion in 10 months, and it's actually as of 9 months. So there's never been anything. Eric?
Wow,
Mr.
he's
President,
dodging investment.
Thank you, and on behalf of the people of the great state of Missouri, we actually make things from F-15s to F-47s now, thanks to you. We'll be building the F-47 and then F-150s. And those are real jobs, and we make things in Missouri. This is going to go a long way, I think, for making things more affordable for normal people. Nothing could be more American than driving a car on a highway, and this is going to make that more accessible for more people. So thanks for your leadership.
Your state's doing a great job.
Yeah, well, they love you too.
It's a great place.
Oh,
Thank you.
investment's still going
Please.
down. Oh.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm going to talk to you just a minute from a rural perspective,
Okay.
because these CAFE standards were absolutely unworkable in rural Missouri. We need vehicles that are practical and affordable and
Right.
can haul for our small businesses, for agriculture, and it just simply didn't work. Those CAFE standards didn't work. So I applaud you and Secretary Duffy for your hard work and what you're doing on behalf of rural America.
Well, it was keeping a lot of manufacturers out of our country, too. They said, we're not going to, are you crazy? They thought, outside manufacturers thought we were absolutely insane with all of the different things. That were just made up nonsense. It was like made up. It was really made up by people that hate our country. I really believe. Does anybody else have anything to say?
I'd say about two quick things, Mr.
Oh, no,
President.
Bernie, I didn't see you.
Two quick things I think are really important. So the person who sat behind this desk before you gave $7,500 in subsidies to multimillionaires who are leasing electric Rolls Royces, electric Porsches, electric Lamborghinis. We're getting $7,500 from the taxpayer. And these Democrats sit on this floor and say that Republicans are for millionaires and billionaires. We are the opposite of giving $7,500 to multi-billionaires to lease foreign electric vehicles. Number two, because of your policies, at the beginning of the year, 51% of the cars sold in America were made in America, 51%, before you got sworn in. Last month, that number was 57%. We moved it 6 points, which nobody thought would be possible in 4 years. We did it in 10 months. That's something that maybe the news should cover a little bit more. And we've driven down the price of automobiles. car prices
Reference
for
news.
consumers are
It's fake
down
news, gonna
before
get-
you did
Just
this.
about everything is down.
Surprise.
You know, this whole thing is, they use the word affordability. It's a Democrat hoax. They're the ones
Democrat.
that drove the prices up.
Man, I had
And all
bids
they
up
do
for
is say
Democrat.
affordability, and you're supposed to say, oh, that means they had low prices. No, we inherited the worst inflation in the
And
history
inflation.
of our
I
country.
had bids for inflation,
They say 48
too.
years, but let's say that's history. I don't believe that. Biden had, because
Come on,
of his
reference
stupid
the auto
ways
pen.
and between his energy policies and his
Reference the auto
spending
pen.
policies, we had the worst inflation in the history of our country. And now our prices are coming down, and they're coming down for cars, and they're coming down. I mean, did you hear yesterday when Chris Wright from Energy, the head of
Democrat
energy in our
hoax
country,
combo.
said there are now parts of our country, it's all happening, $1.99 for gasoline, a gallon. And we have it at $2.50, $2.60. It was at $5. And that's bigger than any tax cut we could give. And, you know, for the average family, that's considered bigger than any tax cut. So the word affordability, when they mention it, you ever watch them? It's all about, I saw the young lady that lost last night. She lost by a lot more than they thought. And we have a great new candidate in Congress, really great, Matt Van Epps. But I saw last night, she said, it's all about affordability, all about it. They never talk about like the specifics. Everything was through the roof. Eggs, when I took over, eggs were 4 times higher than they ever were. We got the prices down to the lowest level.
Yep.
I mean, amazing. But they never, you gotta
The
watch,
worst
they're
inflation
great con
Greek.
people. It's like the inflation
Greek.
reduction.
I had
And after they
inflation
got it
limits
approved,
up. I never got
because
them
everybody
filled
said inflation
live.
reduction,
I'm
They
sad.
admitted it had nothing to do with reducing inflation. It's a con job. I think affordability is the greatest con job. They look at you and they say, affordability. They don't say anything else. Everyone says, oh, their prices were so low. No, they had the worst inflation. We had the highest prices we ever had, and now they're all coming down, including beef is coming down. Beef was up there a little bit. Our ranchers
I had
did
bids
well.
there. I couldn't get
We're
nothing
going to make them
built.
do a little bit less well, perhaps. But the beef is now coming down. Coffee is now coming down. It's all coming down. And it's a beautiful thing to see. But remember this, when they use the
Oh, you got
word
a 23?
affordability,
Man.
they just say,
okay.
they never
I
say
feel like a
anything
loser.
else. This election's about affordability, and then they go into the next subject. It's a con job. They caused the highest prices in the history of our country, the worst inflation in the history of our country,
Sleepy
and
Joe.
we're getting those prices down, and they're coming down rapidly, and you'll see those results very soon. Anybody else want to say a few words? Oh, Ted.
Ted's here?
Can't believe it.
I'm easy to miss.
I didn't see. It's very rare that I would miss it. Go ahead, Ted.
Well, Mr. President, I want to congratulate you on behalf of everyone here for the leadership that you're showing. And this is a victory today for consumers. This is a victory for affordability. Your critics like to say the word affordability. Under
Yeah,
Joe
talk
Biden and the
about
Democrats,
critics. Talk
they
about
put
auto pen
mandate
Trump.
after mandate after mandate on cars and trucks, and they drove the price up thousands and thousands of dollars. And with the actions you're taking today, and you put on top of that the one big beautiful bill, you know, most of the senators here on the Senate Commerce Committee, and on the Commerce Committee, we worked together to zero out the CAFE standards. We wrote that into the law that the CAFE standards went to zero. What does that mean? It means you can now, as a consumer, buy the car you want. It also means people's lives will be safer, because what these regulations did is they forced cars to be more expensive and made of plastic instead of steel. Because you had to make them lighter to comply with
I
these
think
standards, so
Drill
you'd
Baby
get in a
Drill-
wreck and people would die. The result of what you're doing,
I think drill baby drill at this point probably unlikely, like very
where
unlikely.
families can afford to get a new car, these actions will drop the cost of cars and trucks thousands of dollars. That makes a real difference. And I'll make one final point. You know, about half the members here are car dealers. And I
It's all going to come down to Q&A. I assume he's going to do Q&A. Reporters are there. That's where a lot of these are going to get more life.
Kelly, he showed he was savvier because he tried to sell you a car, and you can afford a much nicer car than I can. So, well,
I had the same thing, Max.
to the wrong customer.
I was $100 cheaper.
The thing that Ted just said, it's true. Plastic instead of steel. Think of that. And people died because of that. The plastic was plastic in an auto accident, and it broke up and people were shattered because of that crazy deal. But it's a really good point. Go ahead.
And Mr. President, I'll tell you, in the Senate Commerce Committee on January 14th, we're going to have a hearing with all of the big three there and Tesla, and the entire hearing is going to focus on how your leadership has reduced the burdens on car makers. That's lowering costs, that's giving consumers more choices, and it's producing more jobs in America. And it's highlighting that's a real record of success.
Yeah, well, it's an honor. And, you know, they were going by California. We had like 2 different countries, California and 15 that followed California, because you had 15 states follow California. And the rules from California were just like everything else. That's why people are leaving. That's why it's such a mess. It's got there's a state with such unbelievable potential. But what they did with the car industry is incredible. And that was, you know, the car companies didn't know what to do because they had 2 standards, and you can't build 2 different cars for the same country.
I'm not even going to attempt.
And what we're doing today is very big. Would anybody like to say something? Would you like to say something, my friend?
I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
All right, questions come on. Yes, he's going to do questions.
Mr. President, thank you. Once again,
And we love you, Brian.
Oh, I love you.
Let's
too,
get an
Mr.
auto pen
President.
question.
I've always said
He's a good man.
Well,
Go
I
ahead.
appreciate that. I've always said you've tackled the three M's: mortgage, munchkins, and marriage. You've solidified all of those. I'll add motor vehicles to that now. My question, I got one about consumer confidence. We just came off on the record high Black Friday, up 9.1%.
Record high, highest ever, biggest amount ever purchased in one day.
Which I think counters this narrative of affordability, because apparently the Americans are spending money. So I want to see, how do you view that for a consumer confidence being so high going into Christmas and going into next year? And I do have one for the auto group after you.
Yeah, I just think that we have tremendous confidence in the country. You know, one of the things in terms of confidence, if you go back a year and a half, you know, it's amazing, we're like into 10 months already, but you
He's
go
gonna
back
do
a
the
little bit
hottest
before
line
the
again.
election, because after November 5th, it started changing rapidly, even though we weren't running it until January 20th. But when you look back and you look at the enlistment of soldiers, people that wanted to join the military, the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, it's like booming, it's all Space Force. But we had a
Space Force.
We had the worst recruitment in the history of our country. A year later, we have the greatest recruitment in the history. You can't even get in. Getting in is like getting into a top college that you couldn't get in. People want to be in the service now, and that includes the police and firemen, other things. You couldn't hire police. You couldn't hire anybody in the Army or the Navy. You couldn't get people in. And we now have gone from that to record recruitment. We're getting high quality people, amazing people, wanting to be in the military. They have a spirit now, you know, call it what you want, but that's part of it. But they have great spirit now.
Well, you said
it's a
investing,
great
but
thing.
not
Go ahead,
investment.
ask your second question.
Okay, my second question, I've got a lot of close family friends that are in the automotive business, own dealerships all across Southern California. They sent me a question to ask you. There's a thing called a mileage blocker that is installed on vehicles. It's a type of a computer chip which alters the actual mileage driven on the vehicle, so that when you have a leased vehicle that's turned in, they're losing thousands of dollars. They've got to go chase down these manufacturers. What can we do to track down these manufacturers of this illegal computer chip that's really hurting the automotive industry?
Have you heard about this?
Yes, sir. They're getting built in China, and most of them are coming out of Great Britain, sir. They're being distributed through China, through distributors selling them online through Great Britain. Yes, sir.
Wow, that's not so good. What do you think?
Look at that.
Do you burn it? Do you know anything about it?
I'm not surprised, Jack. That's what it was like when I looked
vehicles, and obviously, we got to do a better job.
Yeah,
of
I
being
think
sure
it's
at the border.
something, I've never heard of it. Very good. We never heard of it. That's pretty good.
They're very hard to
Mr. President, you released video of that first boat strike on September 2nd, but not the second video. Will you release video of that strike so that the American people can see for themselves what
I
happened?
don't know what they have, but whatever they have, we'd certainly release, no problem. You know, we stopped, every boat we knock out, we save 25,000 American lives.
That's right.
And if you look at our numbers, the drugs coming in through sea are down 91%. I'm surprised there's 9%. You want to? I don't know who's doing the 9%, but it's down 91, and we're going to start very soon on land, and I'm sure you're thrilled to hear that.
Mr. President, on Ukraine, Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner were there last night with Vladimir Putin. Can you give us an update about those talks? It sounds from what the Kremlin is saying that they're not going to compromise. Can you tell us what you've...
I don't know what the Kremlin's doing. I can tell you that they had a reasonably good meeting with President Putin. We're going to find out. It's a war that should have never been started. It's a war, if I were president, we had a rigged election. If I were president, that war would have never happened. It's a terrible thing. But I thought they had a very good meeting yesterday with President Putin. We'll see what happens. It's
a rigged election.
You know, when I was in this office and I talked about no cards, I said, you have no cards. That was the time to settle. I thought that would have been a much better time to settle. But they, in their wisdom, decided not to do that. They have a lot of things against them right now. But you have President Putin had a very good meeting yesterday with Jared Kushner and with Steve Witkoff. What comes out of that meeting, I can't tell you, because it does take two to tango. You know, Ukraine, I think we have something pretty well worked out with them. They're very satisfied, considering. But the sad part is, if I were president, no war would have ever happened. They would have had 100% of their territory. Nothing would have happened. It's a very sad situation. So think of this. Last month, 27,000 soldiers. 27. That's like you take a stadium, a football stadium, not an arena, and you cut it in half. 27,000 people died. Young, mostly young soldiers died.
I just want a reporter to ask about his post about the auto.
And that's the only reason I'm involved. You know, we're not spending any money in the war. We're selling to NATO. We're not being ripped off like we were under Biden. Biden was handing everybody everything we had, giving them all the missiles, everything they wanted, free, no charge. He had no idea what he was doing. They're paying top dollar, full price for everything. Goes to NATO, and then NATO distributes it. NATO pays us. So it's not money. We would all, I think I can speak for everyone behind here. The politicians I know and the auto manufacturers are good people. They don't want to see 27,000 people die for no reason whatsoever. And that's the only reason I'm trying to help. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, switching to Venezuela for a second. Have you checked back with President Maduro? I mean, is your pressure campaign working? And do you think how's he responding to your demand that he leave the country?
It's not pressure campaign. It's much beyond that, I think. But I spoke to him briefly, just told him a couple of things. We'll see what happens with that. Venezuela sends us drugs, but Venezuela sends us people that they shouldn't be sending. They emptied their prisons into our country. They sent us killers, murderers. They sent us drug dealers at the highest level. They sent us gang members. They sent us people from their mental institutions. They emptied their mental institutions into our country. And so did other countries, because we had stupid people running this country, really stupid people. And I think probably you had some stupid ones, and you had some smart ones, but there were bad people too. Because not all of them were stupid. You can't cheat on elections like they did and be stupid.
Probably.
Okay. Did you talk to him a second time or just that one time?
What's that?
To Maduro. Did you speak to him again?
No, I didn't.
Mr. President,
if you do find...
When you spoke with Mr. Witkoff and with Mr. Kushner...
Last night,
did they give you the sense that President Putin still wants to end the war, wants to make peace?
He would like to end the war. That was their impression. Now, whether or not, that was their impression. You know, their impression was that he would like to see the war ended. I think he'd like to get back to dealing a more normal life. I think he'd like to be trading with the United States of America, frankly, instead of, losing thousands of soldiers a week. But their impression was very strongly that he'd like to make a deal. We'll see what happens.
Mr. President, if the boat strikes, if it is found that survivors were actually killed while clinging onto that boat, should Secretary Hegseth, Admiral Bradley, or others be punished?
I think you're going to find that this is war, that these people were killing our people by the millions, actually, if you look over a few years. I think last year we lost close to 300,000 people were killed. That's not mentioning all the families. Have you seen what happens with the families of not only the people killed, the people that are trying to get their son or their daughter off of this poison that they've been fed? I think you're going to find that there's a very receptive ear to doing exactly what they're doing, taking out those boats. And very soon we're going to start doing it on land too, because we know every route, we know every house, we know where they manufacture this crap, we know where they put it all together. And I think you're going to see it very soon on land also. Yeah, please.
So to be clear, you support the decision to kill survivors after the
No, I support the decision to knock out the boats, and whoever's piloting those boats trying to kill people in our country. Yeah, please.
The House Judiciary Committee has subpoenaed Jack Smith to ask about his investigation of you. I wondered, for a deposition, I wondered if you'd prefer to see that as a hearing so that the American public can see the questions and the responses more easily.
I'd rather see it probably at a hearing. Look, Jack Smith is a thug. He's a failed prosecutor.
Do we
He's a
employ the
bad man.
plan?
He's an evil man. He hurt a lot of people. Forget about me. You know, I do this stuff, but I got indicted many times.
AutoPen's not looking good.
They were dismissed. He's a bad guy. He's a sick man. There's something wrong with him, actually. I think Jack Smith is a sick man. There's something really wrong with him. I'd rather see him testify publicly because there's no way he can answer the questions. But Biden knew this was going along. Kamala knew it was going along.
Oh, Kamala.
And there's a lot of things happening right now that they don't like. One of the things is the auto pen.
Yes!
Everything he
AutoPen!
signed almost.
Did you guys just hear that?
Let's go! His wonderful son, Hunter.
I knew AutoPen was a law.
Signed was not signed by him. He had no knowledge of it. He didn't know what it was. People sitting around the beautiful Resolute desk knew exactly what it was. And those people,
Do we
in my opinion, of a major
AutoPen plan?
Everything that was signed by that AutoPen, the man operating the AutoPen, and I'm sure there are more than one because I think some of the people
I
can
knew
operate it themselves. Some of
AutoPen
the
had to
high-level
hit
people
here.
operate
We
it
got
themselves.
it there at
They
21
would just go in
cents.
and sign
We all
his
are
name
eating.
with an AutoPen onto very important documents, not only pardons.
I have never played
policy, maybe cafe standards, okay, as an example.
I have
Who
never.
signed cafe?
Wait, I have never played yes on AutoPen, for the record. But the vibes were so good, I had to play it.
You'd say, where is the cafe?
We got it
located?"
live.
The guy didn't know anything. Look, that just shows you what a rigged election can be. But you understand what I'm saying. Thank you.
418. Let's go.
You've had conversations.
I did with Jensen.
Right. So
smart man.
In your conversations with him, have you kind of given a sense of where you are with export controls and the types of sugar that the media can give to China?
Sure, he knows very well. He's done an amazing job. NVIDIA, very good. Yeah.
Talk about
Mr.
NVIDIA's
President,
investments.
When do you expect for phase 2 of the Gaza peace plan to be implemented? And do
Well,
you
it's
think
going along well. You know, they had a problem today, I understand, with a bomb that went off and hurt some people pretty badly, probably killed some people. They're telling me it just happened. But it's going on very. We have peace in the Middle East. People don't realize it. We have tremendous support. 59 countries. There's tremendous support. But phase 2 is moving along. Yeah, it's going to happen pretty soon.
Mr. President, did you speak with House Republican leadership about your decision to pardon Congressman Henry Cuellar? And are you concerned that you made a vulnerable Democrat perhaps less vulnerable with that decision?
It didn't matter. He's a respected person. He was treated very badly because he said that
Good shit,
people
Webb.
should not be allowed
I know,
to pour
Foster.
into our country.
I was like,
and he was right.
Did
he
you
didn't like
have
open
an
borders?
early,
he was on the
because
border.
you literally
He
called it right
represents
away.
Very respected
That was
man.
so legendary.
He represents the people on the border, and he saw what was happening. And as soon as he made that statement, I then said, "I'll bet he gets indicted." And that's what happened. You know, I put out my truth from that. Well, I did a truth, wonderful truth. We love truth. But what happened is he got indicted for speaking the truth. And his wife got indicted, Imelda. And that's sort of a first. Usually they leave the wives alone,
Man.
right? Don't they, Congress?
That was so
Typically,
legendary.
They indict somebody, put him in jail for the rest of his life, but the wife can just sit home and cry, or she'll find a new man. You know? A lot of times they find a new man that makes them much happier. In fact, a lot of times they like that man better than the one that's in jail. Go
Mr.
ahead.
President, thank you. The mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Frey, is saying that he's actually proud to have the largest Somali community in the country, and his police chief
Well, then
is...
he's a fool.
Well, his police chief is also
I
saying
wouldn't be
that my...
proud to have the largest Somalian. Look at their nation. Look how bad their nation is. It's not even a nation. It's just people walking around killing each other. Look, These Somalians have taken billions of dollars out of our country. They've taken billions and billions of dollars. They have a representative, Ilhan Omar, who they say married her brother. It's a fraud. She tries to deny it now, but you can't really deny it because, you know, it just happened. She shouldn't be allowed to be a congresswoman, and I'm sure people are looking at that. And she should be thrown the hell out of our country. And most of those people, they have destroyed Minnesota, okay? Minnesota, you have an incompetent governor. You have a crooked governor. He's crooked as hell, but he's incompetent. Walz he should be ashamed. That beautiful land, that beautiful state, it's a hellhole right now. And the Somalians should be out of here. They've destroyed our country. And all they do is complain, complain, complain. You have her.
Shout out.
She's always talking about the Constitution provides me with
clean sweep on this.
Go back to your own country and figure out your Constitution. All she does is complain about this country. And without this country, she would not be in very good shape. She probably wouldn't be alive right now. So Somalia is considered by many to be the worst country on earth. I don't know.
Let's go, Mark.
I haven't been there. I won't be there anytime soon.
It hit exactly how we thought it would hit. That's all I'll say.
Somalia, what the Somalian people have done to Minnesota is not even believable. It's not even believable. And a lot of it starts with the governor.
That was such perfect
timing, Foster,
with
your comment. Barack Hussein
Oh
Obama.
my gosh.
Because that's when people started coming in. And you have to have people come in that are going to love our country, cherish our country. They want to kiss our country goodnight. They talk about our country. We want them to pray for our country. This is not the people living in Minnesota.
I was considering it, Foster. I was going to start
disaster.
sizing.
She should not be, and her friends shouldn't be allowed. Frankly, they shouldn't even be allowed to be congresspeople. Okay, they shouldn't even be allowed to be congresspeople.
Wait, let me just turn the light on.
Because they don't represent the interests of our country. Anybody else?
The automakers spent billions on meeting the Biden EV rule.
Kiss our country.
Should they be able to recoup that somehow, given the change? And there's a question about the
doing it. No. I'm not letting them recoup. They're going to do just fine. You know how they recoup? From this point forward, they'll do very well.
Can you also talk about the USMCA and what you're thinking about renegotiating that with the automakers?
Well, we're that's just an ongoing thing. It expires in about a year, and we'll either let it expire or we'll maybe work out another deal with Mexico and Canada. But look, Mexico and Canada have taken advantage of the United States, like just about every other country, in all fairness. It's not them. I'm not blaming them. But every country, because we had stupid people running our country.
This could be investment.
We had a lot of stupid people running. That's why we have $38 trillion in debt. But the beautiful thing about the tariffs is we'll start paying off that debt. The money coming in, they're finding money in our country now that they never knew existed. The other day, $30 billion. Where did it come from? I said, why don't you check the tariff shelf? They said, sir, that tariff hasn't started yet. It doesn't start till January. I said, no, it started 2 months ago. They called back, sir, you're right, it was from tariffs. No, we have a whole different country. I hope the Supreme Court, I pray that the Supreme Court understands the importance of the sensible, really, I mean, this would be country threatening.
Man, this got so
if something happened with regard to that. You know, the people that brought that case are bad people. They're very bad people.
Yeah, that was Ivan Semper.
They hate our country. They represent foreign countries, including China. But they represent, and China's paying us a lot of money now in tariffs. But they represent people that really don't like our country much. And I know some of them, and they're scum. In my opinion, they're scum.
It probably won't hit.
They're absolute scum. And they're not suing for any good reason. They're just suing to see if they can stop it because they make money if this country does badly. You know? So, but we're taking in trillions of dollars. We're stopping wars. We have great national security because of tariffs. And then to think that we have to even go and justify this. The reason a lot of these people, I can tell you this, maybe we would have had the political people, we wouldn't have these people without tariffs. The people that are up here from Stellantis and Ford and General Motors, great companies, including this gentleman, they wouldn't be here today if we didn't have tariffs. They'd be building their plants in Mexico and other places. They're leaving Mexico and they're leaving Canada. They're leaving because they ripped off our country. They took our businesses away from us. And now, because of tariffs, they're all coming back. So it's
I'm
a good
definitely
thing.
getting those.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Mr. President, you called Somalians garbage. What about
Thank you guys. Keep moving. Thank you, Cameron. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you literally called that perfectly too. Wow, that is really funny. Foster is on a tear, but I felt that too, Foster. But you felt it. Look, I'm not trying to say I felt it too. I could have bonded more of those, but I did bond some. I got some credit at 80 right when it ended. All right, we made like 500 on this, which yeah, it's great. I gotta size up more though. I should have continued buying AutoPen. Yes. You know what? I'm saying it now. I am ditching the transcripts. I'm joking. I'm still going to look at transcripts, but like, man, this stuff is all vibes, okay? And I am so in tune now with like the vibes of Trump and his talking points, whatever. I'm just going to lean so much more into vibes. It's crazy. Like, man, and I love live trading because did you guys see? You know what I mean? I talked about this literally before this mentioned market started, where I said Trump's going to give an open. He's going to hand it off to 10 other people to start talking. And then you're going to see the yeses just dip super low because people are not pricing in the fact of the Q&A, right? And that was exactly what happened. And look, we got filled on Mexico yes at 21 cents. How? Like, you know what I mean? That's crazy. When he's talking about automakers, he said Mexico like 10 times. So $40 to $200 here. You know, we lost a little bit on manufacturing. No, I lost $24. Okay, I had a small position there. We made that at the end. But yeah, then obviously AutoPen was our biggest one. We bought AutoPen 21 cents, made $400 there. And then investment, we bought at 31 cents. I don't really regret this. I lost $65. But you can see I was taking, you know, cheaper stuff. But like, yeah, it's just waiting for stuff to get cheap. Then look at how many words that came up in the Q&A. You know what I mean? So we played this really well. I just should have sized up a little more, but it's okay. Honestly, yeah, I just need to like live trade. I don't know why I got in the habit of buying positions before. What a yes fest. Yeah. AutoPen was legendary. Well, if you guys don't know, Trump True Social yesterday saying he was going to cancel all these orders and stuff signed by Biden through the AutoPen. Oh, do I have time to sit through this Snowflake's earning? Shoot, am I going to get wrecked on earnings calls? Do I just sell out here? Do I take the EV? I don't have that much in positions. Let me just look. Newsome Dealbook is live. Did it just start? I think it's been live, right? Wait up. I guess I'll just hold this for the EV. AWS, do I just hold for the EV? I guess. This one's a little more sketchy. Yeah. This was pretty legendary. Okay, well, Snowflake is in 30 minutes. I don't have big positions here. I have $1,000. I guess that's somewhat. But, you know, these are things I accumulated over the past week. I got it what I think are pretty good prices. Did you DM me on X? Let me check. Wait. Oh, wait. No, you on Discord. Let me see. NBA mentions. Let me see. Isn't it kind of late though? I like Danny. If they add them, it's gonna be like no liquidity. You know what I mean? No one competition for Snowflake. Oh, wow. That was pretty electric. All right, let's see. Snowflake. Yeah, I mean, my plays. Am I in New York right now? Yeah, I am. I'm on Yes Hiring, Yes AWS. So for earnings calls, by the way, like I'm a lot less vibes focused and kind of just like data mining them. So if I lose on these, I lose on these, you know. For you know, for Snowflake, for example, they've said hiring in, I don't know, what is this, like 20. Why don't you just go sit next to the temp meter? Is that actually possible? Can I do that? I don't play temperature markets. I need to talk to Easy E. He's like really sharp on temperature markets. Maybe he could show me if I can really just do that in New York. You know, I'll prove to you guys that I'm in New York by grabbing a, I'll bring back a slice of New York pizza in my fridge. Look at this. Try telling me that ain't a New York slice of pizza. That's New York right there. I bought this slice of pizza, or I bought a whole pizza last night, and this is the last slice. So I've literally subsisted off pizza. I mean, that's just terrible. I don't even want to. That's. I don't know why I'm so unhealthy lately. I gotta just figure this stuff out. But man, it has been a rough past 24 hours. Still reeling from that Spotify market. But if we hit on this earnings call, I think we'll be back. I think we'll officially be like back to what we were at before Spotify. Like we'll be back to even on the week. Let's see if we can find like a preview of Snowflake earnings that I can just play while I eat this pizza. Was Snowflake on CNBC or anything? What is CNBC saying about
Microsoft
AI right now? Let's see.
Shares under some pressure, but off of the lows of the day after reporting from our own Steve Kovac. Microsoft pushing back on these reports that has lowered its AI software sales targets. Company out with a new statement a few moments ago saying the information story inaccurately combines the concepts of growth and sales quotas, which shows their lack of understanding of the way a sales organization works and is compensated. Aggregate sales quotas for AI products have not been lowered as we informed them prior to publication. The information updating its headline to say instead that it's lowering its software growth targets. Meantime, we're getting some fresh data from Ramp on enterprise AI spending and what it might mean for the so-called agent economy. And for that, we'll turn to Deirdre.
So, be more EB. It's a good point. It's a fair point. So it wasn't the fact that we didn't know they would remove botted streams. In 2024, that's always been something Spotify does. In 2024, they removed around, I think it was 1.2 billion-ish Spotify streams that they cleaned up from Drake. So it's a known thing that they clean up more from Drake. His lead was 2.5 to 2.7 billion, depending on like what day you marked it for. So the idea that they would cut such a significant amount to be 2.5, 2.7 billion just wasn't thought to be possible. But I guess we didn't look closely into that lawsuit. That was something that maybe we should have looked more into because that was pretty recent. So yeah, I just don't think anyone thought it would be that much. The annoying thing is that I only had a limit order up at like 90, like it had been bonded at that point that it was going to be Drake before the leak. And I was in queue to basically buy like 5,000 shares, a couple cents behind where the highest bid was, just to like kind of bond something. And you know, cause some guy scraped it, which is fair play, you know what I mean? They filled my order, you know. So I got some adverse select. Like if it had never been leaked, I think I would have just never gotten my order filled. Yeah. So like, if we had waited till Wednesday, but look, at the end of the day, it's on me, you know. 100%. There's none of that was in. I mean, I don't know. It could. Who knows what the truth of it is? But based off of it being supposedly just scraped from the site, which I did confirm myself that you could scrape it. Somebody showed me. So I was, as of like 2 days ago, you could. Yeah, it's a risk, you know. So I mean, my whole thing is there's no reason I had to leave 5K shares up. You know, I could have just had say 1K up, and then I wouldn't have been that bad. So honestly, it's just a lesson, you know. It's not at all my biggest loss. I've lost a lot of money a lot of times in my life, you know. So you get used to it. It's just the nature of the game, right? There's always going to be variance. So, but I mean that one sucks because it's like not. I mean, it's a little bit of variance, but it's also it was me being stupid too, leaving that order up. Because my order got smacked, and I was immediately like, what is happening? Will I be watching any college football games this weekend? Yeah. Are you freaking kidding me? Big Ten championship, SEC championship. I'm going to be watching the hell out of those. I still think Ole Miss has a lot to run. I mean, I hope so. I don't know. Apparently, the offensive coordinator's coming back. He was originally just going to go to LSU, but, you know, it's a little annoying. Lane Kiffin posts like, oh, we're letting him go back to Ole Miss as if he's like some saint. It's like, dude, I don't know. I mean, Lane Kiffin is a great coach. He is just quite a character. I am curious how much this weekend is going to move the lines, you know, in terms of getting a buy, right? Obviously. All right, we'll see you, Nico. This has been a marathon stream with this Snowflake earnings. But we're going to stick through it. Hopefully they say hiring an AWS in the beginning, and we'll call it early. But this will be a legendary finish, because if we get this win on this mention, we'll be back. If we don't, we'll be cooked. We have pretty solid clothesline value right now. OSU is light work. You think Indiana's winning this weekend? I think the coolest storyline of this weekend is the fact that, oh, OSU's easy money. You're probably right. I mean, to me, they're in a league above everybody else. But I think the coolest storyline this weekend is that you have two finalists, basically, for the Heisman. Sure, you can, like, lump in Jeremiah Love as a third, but it's really between Ohio State and Indiana QBs, and now they're playing each other in the Big Ten championship. So, like, that's going to be legendary. You know what I mean? To, like... I probably lean towards Mendoza currently, I guess. But, you know, Big Ten championship's going to decide it, honestly. It's probably going to be highly correlated with whoever wins. All right, let me pull up Snowflake's earnings call. Can I edit the name of my stream? Let me see. I think I can. Let me see. Snowflake earnings call. There we go. Does it actually edit it? I don't think it does. Oh, it says it'll take up to 30 seconds. What is Ulta tomorrow? Oh, Ulta earnings. Yeah, I'll probably stream this. I haven't looked at it yet. I should look at it after this to get some orders up. Pretty liquid so far.
At a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Elon Omar is garbage. Just taking. We could go tipping. You know, our country. We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild. I can say it about other countries too. We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild our country. I can say it about other countries too. We don't want them to hell.
Staying on for Thursday Night Football? Probably not. I mean, I don't know. I feel like streaming Thursday Night Football is be kind of boring. But I can tell you, I will have a lot of positions on Thursday Night Football. Announcer mentions are probably my favorite mention market, maybe up there with Trump right now. Nothing beats a Trump market, but what do you think about going yes for let's see, for Europe? Let's see. I probably wouldn't play it at these prices. Unless there's like a company specific reason that you like Europe. Obviously, I'm not very familiar with too much about Snowflake's earnings. I've used Snowflake at my old corporate job. We used to always use Snowflake, but wait, did my stream die on X? Oh no, it's still there. They are doing NBA mentions now? I'm excited, but holy shit, I'm gonna have a late night, dude. I have to play them. I just don't have any fair values, and I don't watch NBA, so I need to get on that if that's going to be a recurring thing. It sounds like it is. Man, there's going to be so much money to be made there. What time are all the games today? NBA. Oh, they're all 7 p.m. Wow. That's going to be so insane. I totally skipped this last round of them. Man, I remember I handicapped this whole earnings call last week, and that's why I put up all my positions. And then I just pulled them like a day yesterday because I didn't want to, you know, forget to take them down. I wish I'd kept that though, so I could have remembered like what I liked. The only scary thing about hiring an AWS is they don't say them like frequently. It's like they say them once or they don't say them. All right, 8 minutes. What do we have next to the calendar? Miami, Dallas. Man, they need to come up with a better way to like cut through mentions. I've talked about this in the Discord. Like the fact I can't even see times on all these things is kind of crazy to me. Like I literally trade these every single day constantly, and I spend a ton of time trying to nail down like when everything's happening. I feel like it'd be very difficult but you know, it's a lot. You know, I just think it'd be such a good addition to have like times listed outside for all these. Do Snowflake than the illustrious Erica Kirk? Is there a mention for Erica Kirk on the deal book thing or something? Wait, where is this? Oh my gosh, there is a mention. Yeah, count me out of that one. All right, Miami versus Dallas. Use calendar, then mentions. I'm not playing Erica Kirk. I don't know. Okay, let me try that. Okay, press live. Mentions. Wait, I just did it. Are you seeing something different, Varun? Oh, you're saying I'm stupid. I keep clicking out of it. Okay, live, then mentions. Sorry, I'm an idiot. Oh. This is so much better. I can't believe I didn't even know that this view existed. But, like, that's kind of remarkable because I literally am on this every single day. I guess I'm just an idiot. I don't know. This is a way better view. Was Mr. Beast a no fest? Holy cow, looks like it was. These were priced very high. Oh. Semper, you go to live, then you click on mentions. What the hell is Reuters next? I assume... Is this guy... Huh. That is not a market for me. Can you guys already hear the Snowflake earnings coming out? It's only 5 minutes out. Wait, Varun, we handicapped this together, right? What positions do you have? Are we both on the same thing on this? Holy cow. Dude, there are 3 earnings calls tomorrow. I did not. Did you? Cool Benz? What are those? Is that like a... They had like articles at Grand Central? Oh, you guys both have no on competition. Oh, but you got it in the 50s, Varun. Yeah, me and Varun were on this market last week because we thought it was happening last week. But I mean, we got like pretty great value. I mean, I got AWS in the 60s. I got hiring in the 70s. I got it at flat 70 versus they've all... So clothesline values there, you know, so we definitely, I think, regardless if I lose it all here on these, I feel like these are pretty good plays. Dang, that's pretty cool. I guess I should have gone to Grand Central Station. You fudded me on this one? No, no, it was good. This is all helping out, Varun. Am I going live for Kroger tomorrow? American... Oh. What's it priced at? Let's see. Oh, but you can see it's not even in this view yet. Oh, let me just make sure I have no resting orders open up, man. These, I will be just always scared that okay. Don't look at these resting orders. 21 cents. I will probably not be live for Kroger tomorrow, but maybe I'll change my mind. I don't know. I feel the same way, Varun. But, like, I'm not going to be able to exit out of 1,000 shares at 80 cents. You know what I mean? Especially not a minute before the earnings starts. So, we just got to hold it. You almost tailed the Drake dip from the VC call? Thank God you did not. That shit was a massacre. Me and Gayton combined lost... probably at least $15,000. All right, it's about to start in any minute now. Hopefully they hit AWS and hiring right in the beginning. Let's okay, should be starting in a sec. I'm gonna turn it on after the operator.
Today are Sridhar Ramaswamy, our Chief Executive Officer, and Brian
Here we go.
Robbins, our Chief Financial Officer. During today's call, we will review our financial results for the third quarter fiscal 2026 and discuss our guidance for the fourth quarter and full year fiscal 2026. During today's call, we will make forward-looking statements, including statements related to our business operations and financial performance. These statements are subject to risks and uncertainties, which could cause them to differ materially from our actual results. Information concerning these risks and uncertainties is available in our earnings press release, our most recent Forms 10-K and 10-Q, and our other SEC reports. All our statements are made as of today based on information currently available to us. Except as required by law, we assume no obligation to update any such statements. During today's call, we will also discuss certain non-GAAP financial measures. See our investor presentation for a reconciliation of GAAP to non-GAAP measures and business metric definitions, including adoption. The earnings press release and investor presentation are available on our website at investors.snowflake.com. A replay of today's call will also be posted on the website. With that, I would now like to turn the call over to Sridhar.
Thanks, Catherine. And hi, everyone. Thank you all for joining us today. As every company transforms to embrace the AI era, Snowflake remains at the center of today's AI revolution. We have delivered yet another strong quarter thanks to the hard work and dedication across our team to help our customers realize value throughout their end-to-end data lifecycle and effectively harness AI's potential every step of the way. Our continued focus on operational rigor and close-knit product and go-to-market execution has helped us maintain strength across our core business and innovate rapidly to bring new capabilities to market. We are executing with urgency and focus and maintaining deep partnerships with our customers that enable us to capture the opportunity in front of us and sustain durable momentum. Product revenue in Q3 was $1.16 billion, up 29% year over year. Remaining performance obligations totaled $7.88 billion, with year-over-year growth accelerating to 37%. Our net revenue retention remains stable at a very healthy 125%, and we added a record 615 new customers this quarter. As we continue to deliver strong revenue growth and healthy results, we are increasing our growth expectations for the year and reiterating our margin target. As I've shared, Snowflake is on a mission to empower every enterprise to achieve its full potential through data and AI. And we are making incredible progress against that mission every day. We continue to double down on what makes Snowflake unique, delivering an AI data cloud that's truly enterprise ready, with a radical focus on our customers. Snowflake is intuitive and easy to use.
It's always the CFO who says it, by the way, Varun. So the CEO will not say it.
That enterprises trust as their foundation. That's why customers like Coca-Cola Consolidated, PayPal, and thousands more are transforming their businesses with Snowflake. And it's why more organizations than ever are going all in on Snowflake as their foundational data and AI platform. Already, Snowflake is the cornerstone for our customers' AI strategy. In Q3, more than 7,300 accounts are using our AI capabilities every week. Just recently, Morgan Stanley named Snowflake its Strategic Partner of the Year, recognizing how our AI data cloud is accelerating their transformation and driving AI innovation across one of the world's leading financial institutions. And with the general availability of Snowflake Intelligence, we are seeing the fastest ramp in product adoption in our company history. Already, 1,200 customers are harnessing next-generation agentic AI capabilities to drive real business impact at scale. Snowflake Intelligence is transforming how businesses interact with their data, turning natural language into real-time, actionable intelligence. For example, TS Imagine, a global SaaS platform for financial services, used Snowflake Intelligence to build an AI agent that now handles tasks equal to 8.5 full-time employees. The agent helps users manage and query data, make faster trading and risk management decisions, and automate customer case resolution, increasing transparency across teams and with clients. And Fanatics, the global leader in sports merchandise and e-commerce, uses Snowflake Intelligence to connect billions of fan data points across shopping, collectibles, and gaming platforms for more than 100 million fans worldwide. This unified data foundation helps Fanatics better understand its customers, boost sales, and grow its advertising business, powering the launch of new Fanatics Advertising Audience Network this year. This momentum has enabled us to achieve a major milestone, $100 million in AI revenue run rate, achieved 1 quarter earlier than anticipated, thanks to our pace of innovation, cross-functional collaboration, and early adoption among many of our marquee customers. Because we operate as a consumption-based business, this number reflects real-world enterprise usage. It's a direct signal of how customers are using our AI capabilities in production to create value today. What's more, our AI capabilities are strengthening our customer relationships and expanding the value we deliver across every stage of the data lifecycle. AI is a key driver of the strength that we see in our core business. In Q3, we landed a record number of new logos and continue to build strong momentum, with AI influencing 50% of the bookings signed this quarter. We also deepened relationships with existing customers, as 28% of all use cases deployed during the quarter incorporated AI. Being enterprise ready is not just about innovation, it's also about reliability.
These are like always impossible to bond. I don't know how people have such a latency edge. I don't even try.
More than 300 mission-critical workloads to backup systems, ensuring business continuity for our customers when it mattered the most. Our commitment to making business-critical capabilities just work continues to resonate with our customers. And so we've built on that strength by expanding not only our product capabilities, but our ecosystem. This quarter alone, we announced new partnerships with Workday, Splunk, Palantir, UiPath, and more to deepen integration, enable secure and seamless data access across the systems our customers use every day, and unblock new innovations like agent-to-agent collaboration. More recently, we announced a landmark partnership with SAP to unite mission-critical business data with the Snowflake AI Data Cloud. We are already supporting customers like AstraZeneca to access and analyze real-time data. These partnerships amplify our ability to deliver value to joint customers and extend our go-to-market reach. Our progress is clearly resonating with our global community. During Snowflake's annual World Tour, over 40,000 customers, partners, and prospects joined us across 23 events, a record-breaking turnout representing a more than 40% year-on-year increase in participation from last year. More recently, our annual Build Developer Summit saw a 43%.
Wait, DZ Lift, did it end up going hell 4+? Or did it go yes or no? I thought it should have gone yes. Which way did it go?
Total GA product capabilities to 370 year to date, a 35% increase over last year, with AI being front and center. As I shared, Snowflake Intelligence continues to set the tone for enterprise-grade agentic AI. Just recently, we announced that Snowflake is the official data cloud provider for USA Bobsled Skeleton, powering their journey to the upcoming Olympic Games. The team is using Snowflake Intelligence to unify and analyze data across its performance ecosystem to optimize, push performance, and equip coaches with data-driven insights to create a competitive edge on the ice for a medal-worthy performance. At the core of our AI philosophy is customer choice and flexibility, empowering organizations to leverage the world's leading models securely on their own enterprise data. As you may have seen, a few weeks ago, we announced a partnership with Google Cloud to make the latest Gemini models available to our 12,600 plus customers within Cortex AI and Snowflake Intelligence, further enhancing access and customer choice. To drive even more tailored innovation, we introduced Cortex AI for financial services, a comprehensive suite of AI capabilities and partnerships that empower financial services companies to unify their financial data ecosystem, deploy AI models, applications, and agents securely, and meet the rigorous security and compliance standards for regulated industries. Even as we supercharge the data lifecycle with AI, we remain committed to strengthening our core data foundation to ensure that Snowflake will continue to deliver the trusted, performant, and scalable data platform our customers rely on every day. Key capabilities like Snowflake OpenFlow are making it easier than ever to bring in structured, unstructured, batch, or streaming data into Snowflake. Take EVgo, which is using OpenFlow to simplify and speed up how it ingests data across its EV charging network. By consolidating multiple data pipelines into Snowflake, EVgo has reduced latency, improved reliability, and gained a more complete view of its customers and charging stations. And we are continuing to extend our value through strategic acquisitions. We recently acquired the technology behind Datametry's software migration solution, which will enable our customers to move from legacy data warehouses to Snowflake at lower cost and with minimal disruption, further simplifying their journey to our AI data cloud. We've also agreed to acquire SelectStar to enhance our Horizon catalog and deliver a more complete view of an enterprise's data estate. We believe this richer context will empower agentic AI experiences like Snowflake Intelligence to better understand enterprise data.
There's no reason to stress Adi. The CEO will never say hiring.
Product and engineering to effectively launch and scale new offerings and deepen our customer relationships. This alignment is driving tangible results. Q3 marked a strong bookings quarter, underscored by accelerating RPO growth and healthy customer retention.
I'm just saying this guy would never say it in the first place.
Strengthening our strategic go-to-market partnerships. In addition to those I've already mentioned, today we've announced an expanded partnership with Anthropic. This brings native model availability into Snowflake and also introduces a new joint go-to-market motion designed to accelerate enterprise AI adoption. We also continue to build our strong relationships with major cloud providers. In fact, Snowflake has already surpassed $2 billion in sales through AWS Marketplace in a single calendar year and was just recognized with 14 AWS Partner Award wins, more than any other ISV provider. This underscores the extraordinary demand for Snowflake's AI data cloud.
Try YouTube or Twitch.
Momentum is also accelerating with our global systems integrators. Accenture just launched a Snowflake business group.
AWS already hit.
Train over 5,000 professionals on Snowflake solutions.
Good start.
To help joint customers realize AI
Looks like
value
I missed that.
faster.
Pretty big.
Already, Accenture and Snowflake are helping customers like Caterpillar unlock the full value of their operational data.
Did they really? Can I actually
improving
bond?
quality in manufacturing, providing timely insights for finance.
Is there actually a world I could just bond this?
Solve complex challenges faster. As you can see.
Oh, no. Somehow they always get a latency edge. I don't know how they do it.
Product innovation,
I don't even try to bond
and
these.
Incredible customer momentum. As we deepen our strategic partnerships with the world's leading cloud service providers, AI model developers, SaaS providers, and global system integrators, We're unlocking new levels of performance, accessibility, and AI-driven insight for our customers while expanding the value and impact of the Snowflake platform across industries. I'm incredibly proud of our teams for the efficiency and discipline they continue to demonstrate across the business. Our operational rhythm remains strong, and as we invest strategically for long-term growth, we are building the foundation for sustained scale and high, durable growth. To help lead us through this next phase, I'm pleased to introduce Brian Robbins as our new Chief Financial Officer. Brian brings extensive experience as a CFO across high-growth.
We might be cooked. It's a new CFO. This just shows how little research I did.
Why don't you take us through some of the financial details?
Thank you, Sridhar. It's a truly exciting time for me to be at Snowflake. In Q3, we delivered strong results across revenue, bookings, and margins. Our product revenue grew 29% year over year, fueled by durable growth in our core business and continued expansion into data engineering and AI workloads. Together, these factors contributed to a stable net retention rate of 125%. Financial services and technology verticals led growth in Q3. We continue to see significant opportunity to expand within our existing customer base. Our global 2,000 customers now total 776, with each of these accounts spending on average $2.3 million on a trailing 12-month basis. Many of these customers are still in the early.
Yeah, but Varun, every time they say it, it is the CFO. I'm not trying to FUD you. Like, I'm not. We can't sell anyways, but we could be cooked.
Booking results, signing 4 nine-figure deals. This represents a record number of large deals signed in a single quarter. Our focus on new customer acquisition continues.
Because, Cedric, like, the liquidity is pretty small. Why is a CEO or CFO making $1 million going to ever risk insider trading? It's illegal, first off. Like, maybe as these markets get bigger, but, like, there's 65K on this market. Is a Fortune 500 public company CEO or CFO ever going to do something like that? I mean.
9%. Non-GAAP operating margin expanded more than 450 basis points year over year to 11%, reflecting our continued focus on driving greater efficiency across the entire company.
Hiring?
As a reminder, we intentionally front-loaded our sales and marketing hiring in the year.
Yes!
Non-GAAP adjusted free cash flow margin.
I'm free. W. Let's go, baby. Let's fucking go. What a W day. Oh. I said this at the start of the stream. You guys realize we started this week, okay? We started this week. We got absolutely cooked in the beginning of this week, okay? We lost nearly $5,000 to start the week on the number 3 artist market. Let me hide this thing here. What is Snowflake? All right, we start the week losing nearly $5,000 on the number 3 artist market. Everybody's like, PMT's washed. He's a fraud. He's cooked. I should have never ventured outside of mentions, to be fair, though. So this is on me. And this was stupid that I did this. Whatever. I lost $5,000 here on what I thought was a bond was clearly not a bond. Well, I never said it was a bond, okay? But, you know, I thought it was a great play. Anyways, we start the week losing $5,000 on number 3 artist market. Do I give up? Do I say it's over? Do I just put up my hood? No. Okay? No, we don't. We keep grinding, okay? And then, what do? We play the NFL announcer market. What do we do there? We make $2,500 on the NFL announcer market. So we claw back over half of what we lost on the NFL announcer market. Then we go to some more mentions. We go to the cabinet mention. We took a big play on No Maduro. We cleaned up 750 on No Maduro. Then what do? What do we do then? We get so what was that? That was 3250. What else? Then we play the I mentioned today. We made about 500, bringing us to 3750. Then we just played Snowflake, made 400 there. So now we're at 4,100 or something. And then we played the other NFL announcer market. That's what I was missing. Well, yeah, I made that. Well, let me find it. Is it not resolved? Oh, I'm in open. Wait. Okay, we made 400. I don't know where the other market is. So we made like 700 on the market. Anyways, TLDR. We are back. We are basically even on the week. Boom. Book it. Just like that. We lose 5K. We make it back in like 2 to 3 days. Being responsible too. I wasn't like all inning stuff, but just, oh my gosh. Is that not unbelievable? Oh my God.